Hi, Bob Long, LADC. This is part 2 of the relapse drift. I started realizing I left out a couple of things in the first video, so I'm wanting to address them here. First thing I noticed was I didn't tell you what my sign on my door said. It says, "Do not be upset with the results you did not get from the work you did not do." That will make more sense if you look at the first video on relapse drift. Okay, so this is relapse drift part 2. Second thing, I kind of covered what it was, but I didn't cover how to prevent it. And I think that's really essentially where I need to really focus. We got to know what our triggers are. I mean, boredom is probably the number one trigger out there. Stress is probably number 2. Money problems happens to everybody, especially these days. Relationship issues, constantly. I tell my guys usually it's going to be a relationship that sinks your ship here. Maybe certain sights, certain smells, certain people or places. Falling into the old habits. I see that all the time. Usually we start seeing the old behaviors sneak back in before we start seeing anything else. You start, like such as you begin to isolate. You begin not going to meetings and things like that. Anger. A lot of people have anger issues. Anger being a secondary emotion, we have to understand what is it that's triggering us to our anger. And once we can identify it, then we can better handle it. Self-care. We have got to figure out how to take care of ourselves. And the reward system says, hey, let's go out and do something that's going to make us feel good. Okay, I'll go along with that. But if I'm staying clean and sober for an entire month, maybe my reward is to go out to get go out to see a licensed massage therapist and get a real massage. Okay, that would be a healthy way to celebrate. There's a lot of unhealthy ways, and I don't have to go into those. I think we're going to have to really understand what mindfulness meditation is. Maybe we're not in touch with our feelings. Maybe we're not in touch with our thoughts. And that's scary, because if we're not in touch with that little voice of addiction, it's going to trick us right back into the old ways. Let's see. Know your triggers. I think I said that already. If I didn't, I should have. And if I did, it's worth saying twice. Support groups. I'm not saying you have to go to an AA or an NA group. There are other options out there. But I would suggest you be in some type of support group. Grounding techniques. You got to know some grounding techniques. Being able to do the deep breathing, being able to center yourself. There's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. That's where we acknowledge 5 things that you see around you. You acknowledge 4 things you can touch. You acknowledge 3 things you can hear around you. And what that does is you close your eyes and you listen, and you become in tune with your surroundings. Acknowledge 2 things you can smell around you. Okay, that's the dangerous one when I ask that one, but it's asked. And acknowledge 1 thing you can taste around you. That can be a dangerous one also. Deep breathing, we kind of talked about that. Make an emergency contact list. By the way, let's talk about breathing for a little bit. When you breathe, you have to do it right. I remember one time my son, mad as an old wet hen, comes in, and he's just mad. And I said, slow down. He was young, maybe about 6 years old, something like that. And I said, take some deep breaths. And he goes, and he says, I'm still mad. I said, well, you did it wrong, okay? So when we're taking these deep breaths, it's controlled. We're counting to maybe 3 or 4 as we inhale. And then we're going to hold it for a little bit, and then we're going to exhale to the same count. I realize that I can't inhale and count to 4 at the same time. But everyone can understand that sign language, I hope. Learn to play through the tape. Learn to figure out, hey, listen, if I do this, this might happen, or this will happen, and do I really want to take a chance on ending up there again? Nah, you don't. Get help. There's plenty of 1-800 numbers out there everywhere, crisis numbers, everything else. But if you don't do these things, if you don't create these grounding skills for you now, then you're not going to have them when you need them. I am a pistol instructor on the weekends, and people ask me, why should I take a pistol training class? I said, because in the middle of a gunfight is not the time to start learning new skills, okay? That's the time to take the skills that you have and execute flawlessly, okay? That's the important thing to understand here. What does that mean to you guys? It means that you should have coping skills, and we should be practicing them, so that when we do get triggered, we automatically employ them, okay? Don't think about, oh, what am I going to do? What did Bob say about breathing? How many counts in? What do I do here? You know, sometimes I get creative. I say, breathe in through your left nostril, out through your mouth. I'm engaging the brain, so it gets the brain off of whatever it is that it's wanting to do. And continue constantly telling that little voice of addiction, not today. I'm in charge. Okay? Good luck to you. This is part 2 of the relapse drift. Sorry about that. Have a great day.